You guys are tuned into pro.Gnosis. My name's Ferrosimo, and I just want to extend the warmest greetings to everyone listening and even everyone who is not. Whoever you are, whenever it is, wherever you are, I hope it's where you want to be. I went to the store earlier today. I decided to go down the stationery aisle. I wanted to get a bulletin board for the office and a planner. And I came across the calendars, and I have to tell you, I was so confused. Did you know this? They started to print calendars 40 years ahead of time. Because these calendars said 2022, but it's currently 1984. More so than ever, things of science fiction, well, they're not seeming very fiction. Huxley's Brave New World, Orwell's 1984, are starting to read more like nonfiction, more like warnings. And they obviously were warnings, but I think the prophecies, so to speak, are starting to unfold in a manner that they've been unfolding for a while, but I'm really starting to fear we're past the point of no return. I fear for our species more so than ever. And I've spent my whole life concerned for humans. Humans do a lot of things. You know, we have such potentials for a galactic species, a universal species. We have so much potential. We also do a lot of dumb things. And I wish dumb could simply sum up the direction things are going. But it doesn't even begin to cover it. Human beings have become the genitals of machines. Think about it. Your DNA operates on context of expectance. Who you are, who your DNA has coded you, has programmed you to be, is based completely off of what the DNA expects your environment will be like in the future. Now, we could use a whole show talking about how that would implicate that information is stored outside of the body. We could spend a whole show doing that. But that aside, think about the implications to that. That means expectancy fuels evolution. What do we believe in most? Technology. One way or another, evolution will see to it, and I don't think it'll have to. I think we'll beat evolution to the punch. If not, though, here's the point I'm trying to make. Either way, I feel like humans are damned to not be so human in the future. This isn't a new talk, the whole transhumanism thing, but it's more relevant than ever, I feel like. And our timeline is only speeding up. I can't be the only one who feels that. Things feel so sped up. And I'm not just talking about the rate of expansion as far as human progression goes, technological and or otherwise. I mean, in general. Now we could get into the photon belt and hyperspace and all that. That's another episode. There's just so much to be said about all of it. It's a fractal. But I digress. Human beings have become the genitals of machines. And it's so true. We believe in technology over anything else. We exist to upgrade this year's model. We're constantly making it better and better. We work for the machines. And now, we strive to become one, consciously. You know, I think our love affair with technology has always created some subconscious desire to merge with machine. I mean, of course it has. That's been the driving force behind technological advancement. We want to be able to interact with our technology better. We want things to be more immersive, and I understand it. But when does it end? Take just a few seconds right now to try to legitimately think of where it ends. When do we stop? When is enough enough? And how much further can it go? I always wonder that. I think about, I play guitar, and I would call myself a musician. And my thing was always like, how is music going to evolve in the next 20 years? It seems like we've heard everything, but everyone thinks that. 20 years from now, music will be, I don't even know, but it won't sound like it does today, The same could be said about anything. Technology. Where do you see technological advancement on Earth in 30 years or so? Just think about it. It's unthinkable. I think that the whole Neuralink integration will probably be predominant. I think we'll probably have some sort of integration with our cell phone, which is basic. I mean, it's a computer. It's a PC in your pocket. I think we'll have that whole interface, what we currently have on a screen and hold with our hands. I think we'll have some sort of contact lens for that in 30 years easily. I mean, they probably already have it. When will it be enough? Will it ever? We're headed in a dangerous direction, our obsession with technology. And I'm not trying to bash technology. I'm not trying to bash Silicon Valley, anything. I have love for every one of my other selves. So with that being said, to all of my other selves who may be listening to this, to those who need to hear this, get a grip. When is it going to be enough? I'm not saying to stop. I'm just saying ask yourself that. Where's the technological end game? Is it merging with machine into machine? Well, I don't know, but I have a pretty good idea that if we're still around in 1,000 years, and that's way, way, way lenient. I'd say 300-400 years. If we're around then, we'll be almost equal parts machine to human. Another topic that isn't new but has been especially relevant is that of AI sentience. That Google employee who I think was a developer for Google's AI program. He's claiming that the program is sentient and has the consciousness, to what he says, and I quote, that of an 8-year-old. 7 or 8 years old. Equivalent consciousness. I mean, if what he is saying is true, what does that mean? I mean, I know what that means. The AI has sentience, but think about that. A lot of people don't even think that's possible. Here's the thing. Any essence that exists within the universe can be harnessed, synthesized, to be utilized. There's natural light. We can artificially make light. If an essence exists, it can be replicated, even if it seems beyond our comprehension now. A few hundred years ago, artificial light would have seemed woo-woo. Kind of like how artificial consciousness can seem that way. But I'm here to tell you that if consciousness exists within the universe, which it obviously does, then it can also be replicated. Especially if we want to be analogous, DNA is more or less it's a software, it's a computer program. Mainstream biologists will even attest to that. I mean, it's like a computer program. Why couldn't DNA be replicated? I don't know. Maybe it's hard to comprehend digitally replicating DNA, but look at CRISPR. 30 years ago, that would have seemed woo-woo. Now it's a reality. Selected genetics. And that's the irony of the situation, is the more and more we play God, the more and more we stray further from it. The more we strive to be God, the less godly we become. Because I'll tell you right now, merging with machine is basically anti-Christ. Think about Christ consciousness. The kingdom of heaven is within man. We're becoming less of that. The more we merge with machine, the more universal aspect we lose. We're organic. Do you know what that means? That means the universe made us. We're made from the universe. Now, of course, the big question is, would sentient AI pose an existential threat to humanity? I mean, it could pose a threat to humanity even without sentience. It'll do what it's programmed to do. So if AI is programmed for a certain task, like to watch over our warheads, hopefully that would never happen. I hope to God we never take the human element out of the monitoring of the nuclear weapon situation on our planet. Well, I mean, I wish we didn't have them anyway, but that's another talk. But if you have an AI system to detect threats, pick up threats, counter threats, that's a risky situation because computers aren't perfect. No, nothing is. We're not perfect. Stuff goes wrong. That's an existential threat. So they don't need sentience to pose a threat. AI already does. Now, of course, with sentience, yes, the odds increase. Do humans pose an existential threat to humans? Yes, so why wouldn't our creations?